What's up? Day 2 coming at you. It's me, Gazbot. This is Erin Soon. She's a cat. I'm a human. But I'm here to tell you about what's going on with Day 2. It's about 1:15. Have not started yet. My day has started, but I've not started on the challenge, the art, the comic stuff, etc. Got up a little bit late. I mean, I was up till 4 something in the morning, but then I had breakfast, etc. And got sidetracked with like some email stuff, which I shouldn't be, but you know, work and I gotta. And when I sat down to work, I realized I had set up a video to export and upload to be ready, and it wasn't. There was like some minor problems in the editing, like the sound and stuff that I had to quick correct, and now I'm saving. And this is a side tangent, but I normally save YouTube quality, which is lower, but it's quick and whatever. The last couple times I did it, I've been getting a lot of like pixelization and weird artifacts, which I never got before, but so I'm now saving at a higher res, which is going to mean it takes longer to export and takes longer to upload, but it should result in better quality for people that watch. But I wasn't anticipating that this would be something I'd have to do. Arguably, I don't have to do it, and I should put it on the back burner because that is not what this challenge is about, but I haven't put up a video in a while. This is about the show I did 2 weeks ago, and it's becoming less relevant. You know, I mean, it's always relevant to see how someone did a show, but you know, I wanted to get it up sooner, and so I decided to take a calculated divergence from the plot. Here's another cat. This is Uzumaki Kitty, right? Yes! She says stripes, she says I have triangle ears, and I'm gonna go and make a cup of coffee while this exports, and then next time you talk to me, next time I talk to you, you don't talk to me. I mean, you might be, but I can't. What? What? I can't hear you. You better type it, and then in the future, I will know what you said. But anyway, that. So, okay. I'm getting into the page, and as you can see, I have the lettering on top before ink, which I do continue to think is a good choice because it helps me if I need to adjust the art, and it keeps me from having to do art that is covered up by large balloons, which saves a little bit of time, and as we've discussed, I'm slow, so that helps. So I was getting ready to work on this panel. I decided not to do the grays here, thinking that I should just do the grays all at once. Again, that might save me a little time. So I turned on the rough layer here. And as you can see, I kind of drew all these kids sitting here, and a lot of it's covered up by the balloons, which is unfortunate, but that's my own fault for being so verbose in such a small panel. But I realized also that it goes this way, and then you would go here. This balloon should be red next. If you're going along here, you could accidentally go here. Maybe not. I mean, you shouldn't, but you know, if you're a novice reader, you might. But then this, even if you're an experienced reader, you're going to go here. I mean, hopefully people will go here, but I can't trust that they will. And so I was trying to solve for this. And the first thing I did was like, well, maybe I'll flip the panel. So you can see now I have boots on this side, and then this is the one I want red next, so it's more likely to be red in here, but you can see it's getting even more cluttered than it was. I might try to shrink this panel a little bit. Anyway, that's what I'm dealing with. I haven't come up with a solution yet, but this is one of the many things that it's like, as slow as I am drawing, every now and then a curveball like this comes in where I'm like, oh, I just got to figure this out because it's not what I thought it was when I did the penciling, and the lettering is nice, but it's not reading quite right, blah, 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 blah. More time being spent. Okay, so by flipping the panel and moving these a bit, I have got it to read correctly, and I actually like having it this way because she's pointing into the panel, and I think the composition works more of making her the focus as well as keeping it on the page. The problem is that the next panel then has broken the 360 rule, the 180 rule, where you're not supposed to flip all the way around. So I flipped this panel so that it's consistent, which means I'll have to adjust all these word balloons, but more importantly, this angle can't exist because I've established this bar previously. This is the bar where Dan is, that's the booth they're at, the staircase would be over here, and if I'm facing this way, that's not where this booth is. So I'm left with the choice of redoing the whole thing, which I'm not going to do, flipping this and not flipping this, thus breaking the rule but possibly making clearer storytelling as far as with the dialogue, or allowing this to be incorrect in terms of consistency with the past versions. And right now I'm leaning towards letting this break the 180 rule, and that's where I'm heading. We'll see how it goes. Got about 4 hours in, almost done with that page I was just showing you. Got a little schmutz here. About 4, oh, I should turn this off. As I was saying, 4 hours in, I didn't finish. I'm almost finished with the page I've been working on. I have to do the grays, and actually have to finish up the sign on the outside of the building to make it match up to the previous signs. And I know I had said I'm not as worried about getting things to match, but you know, a sign is iconic. Making dinner now. It's a little late. It's about 8 o'clock. I had to take a walk and I had to talk to my mother about some stuff, so I took a walk, multitasking. But the other thing that's going on is, I don't know if you could tell, but I think I'm getting a sore throat. The back of my throat looks all messed up and jacked up. I was kind of coughing last night. I don't normally get that sick, but like for some reason the last week or two I've been getting all these like minor sick symptoms, and this is following having been like very sick. So I don't know what's going on. Maybe I'm dead and this is all just me hanging on till I finish the book, but I'm gonna go ahead and eat and hopefully do like 4 more hours. It is still day 2. It is, well, technically day 3. Once again, that thing, once you cross the medium, the middle, the midnight, once you cross the midnight. New from Hasbro, Bruce Willis is the Death Clocker. Once he crosses the midnight, watch out. And now get his new Combat Bober. It's like a Jeep, but it bounces. Anyway, it's late. I'm tired. I do have a sore throat. Good. Happy. But I've been pushing myself to work. Did not get my 8 hours, but I got 7.5. So yesterday 7, today 7.5. It's that kind of thing where maybe it's doable that I can make up those extra hours still. I'm still not succeeding, but I'm doing better than I did last time, and the possibility of succeeding at the end still exists. The other thing is I finished up the page I've been working on. Started working on the next page, and this page has been going a lot quicker. I don't know why. I certainly don't have more energy. I'm more run down, if anything. I mean, it's a lot of face shots, but there's still some crowds and things. I'll show you. So you can see there's some close-ups of people, but here I had to get a bunch of people, you know, layered. I don't know what you want to call it. And then I did this one here where there's a bit of background detail, not as much as some of the others. I did him. I skipped this, which was going to be the hardest panel, so it was a little easier myself. I did all 3 of these, this one, and I'm about half done with that one. Didn't do the grays. These are the grays you see here are from the rough that I grade because I'm an idiot and put extra work into doing the roughs. But you can see one of the things is that the roughs, there's the roughs, were a lot tighter than some of the other roughs I did. Now, in general, I'm calling them roughs, they're pencils. My pencils have been tighter on this issue, much more so than the last issue. And I hoped that would help with inking, and it has. But some pages are tighter than others, and I'm guessing that last page, which is actually this one I just have in here as reference, wasn't as rough. Like, I finished this up, and I did more detail in here than I had to. Oh, that's right, I forgot to tell you. This is the way I solved it. I flipped it that way, moved the bubbles around so I feel like it reads properly, and then I just let it be flipped. You know, I broke the 180 rule, but I feel like it works okay, because it's wrong, but I think it reads fine, you know, and so I got all that done, and then I moved into this. But so, that's what I'm saying. I got most of this page done in like 4 hours, whereas, you know, it took me like a panel and a half to do 4 hours. I don't know. Time is a mystery, and while I could probably force out another half hour, I'm beat, I'm starting to get a little sick. I'm gonna go to bed and hopefully feel a little better tomorrow, and get a earlier start, because even though I'm ending about the same time as I did yesterday, I started much later today. I played like an hour of Overwatch and watched a half-hour TV show. That's all I did today. The rest of the time was just work, because I started so late. Because I talked about before, I did other things that I shouldn't have been doing, not playing, but just life stuff. And my plan is, and here's the thing, I'm getting through this week somewhat successfully, but then next week I'm gonna have to catch up. Like, I need to change the cat litter, and I gotta do the dishes, and I got a bunch of house stuff piling up, and chores and store runs I need to go to that I'm not doing. So yeah, it's I don't know, I want to do it as a full-time job, but because I have household responsibilities, I don't know that I ever could really do it that way. But the point is, I'm trying to see how much I would get done. So that's the experiment. Anyway, goodbye from day 2. But these, you could see, well, you can almost not see. Hold on, I'm babbering.